All right, well, good morning. It's great to talk to you again.
Thank you. You too.
I have a confession to make. When the New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys were here in Cleveland in July, I went to the concert. Yeah.
This is good, Chris. I think this is a confession that has to be made in public, and I'm glad you're choosing this forum to do it.
Now, I have another confession. When I was there, I counted how many other guys I saw at the concert, and I think I saw 9.
And they were all on stage, right?
What do you think the ratio is in the audience of guys to girls at one of your concerts?
Well, I think it's actually growing a little bit. I think there's a lot more guys than used to be the case, because, you know, when they're in high school, like they used to be when we were going on our first go-around with New Kids on the Block, guys couldn't like us. But now they've sort of grown up, and they realize that there's 20,000 women in the building, and if you want to stand outside and be mad, you can. But if you want to go inside and celebrate with the 20,000 women in there and be one of the few guys in there to be amongst all those 20,000 women all by yourself, well, that's probably the smarter choice to make.
It's interesting that you mentioned, you know, the younger fans then, and, you know, a lot of those younger fans in the 90s have grown up and they're still New Kids on the Block fans now. Do you think that they were crazier then, or are they crazier now?
See, I never really thought they were crazy either time, but I think they're a little more fun and exciting now than they were then. I think back then, you know, they were just kids, and it was almost as if hormones were controlling them and making them so wild and fun. But now they're grown-ups, and I think with all that's going on in the world, we had 2 wars going on, we have an economy that was in the toilet, and I think our fans grew up and have kids and responsibilities and mortgages, and they want to have fun. They want to let their hair down a couple times a year and go see their favorite band, and they chose us. And I think it means a lot more now than it used to mean back then, for sure.
Well, Donnie, the last time we spoke like this, Blue Bloods was just about to hit the airwaves, and now it's this huge hit on CBS. Did you know when you were reading this script originally that it was going to take off like this?
I knew when I read the original script for Blue Bloods that I loved the show. I knew I had a great character to play, and I knew that I loved this family and these family dinner scenes that we were going to shoot. But, you know, there was really no way to know that the show was going to be so successful, especially when they put it on Friday nights at 10 o'clock, which is known as the television graveyard. But for whatever reason, this show has been consistently in the top 10 in all of television, which is unheard of for a Friday night show. And it's really caught on with audiences, and we're really, really proud of it. We think this is a show that people should be watching, and it's a labor of love for everybody in the cast and crew, I could tell you that much.
How much of yourself do you see in Danny? Like, are you often reading the script and going, yeah, that's something I would probably do?
You know, I think he's an antagonist, which I can be at times, but I read the script a lot of times and go, I don't know about that. I don't know that I want to do this. You know, it seems a little extreme. It seems a little harsh, and I'm probably a little more liberal than Danny Reagan is. But I think whenever something in the script bumps for me, and it's something that Donnie Wahlberg doesn't necessarily want to do, I think it's all the more reason that Danny Reagan should be doing it. I think he's cut from a different cloth than me, and he's a little more to the right than me. But he's a guy who means what he does, and will do whatever it takes to uphold the law. So, you know, I think whenever it doesn't make sense for me, it makes a lot of sense for Danny Reagan.
Well, Blue Bloods is all about family, and I know a lot of people are wondering if we'll ever see part of your family on Blue Bloods. Do you think Mark would ever co-star with you, guest star, anything like that?
We'll see. He's working on a show that he wants me to be a part of, so I think I may have to make a deal with him. If for me to be a little part of the show he's working on, I think he's going to have to owe us one on Blue Bloods, and we'll see. There's another brother who was a deceased in the show, another Reagan boy who was killed in the line of duty, and they may do something someday where they introduce that character, you know, in a past situation. So I may have to try to twist Mark's arm into doing that part.
Very interesting. Now, I put this out on Twitter asking your fans what questions they would want asked, and 2 questions kept coming up. One came from all these women asking, will you marry them?
Yes, all of them.
All of them.
Let's go to Utah and get it done.
And the second one was, when are you going to announce another U.S. tour for NKOTB?
We're not going to announce a U.S. tour yet. We're still working on the world tour for this upcoming summer, and we still have plenty of countries and dates to announce there. But we're working on something very special to do in the U.S. next summer. Not a tour, but maybe a singular event, and it will be very close to Cleveland, Ohio. So that's all I can really say about it right now. But we're working on something special. Hopefully it comes together, and when we announce that, I promise you everybody in Cleveland will be happy about it.
Appreciate that. Donnie Wahlberg, always a pleasure to talk to you. And Blue Bloods, Friday night at 10 right here on CBS. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Chris. Keep
All right, take
tweeting.
care.